Welcome to Set to Shelf, the Movie Props podcast. Join Dan and Alexander as they explore the world of movie memorabilia, from blockbuster auctions and passionate collectors to industry news and conversations with the professionals who bring it all to life. If it's on set or on the shelf, we're covering it.
Welcome. Here we are. My name is Dan Gastin,
I'm Alexander Komarov.
and this is the Movie Props podcast from Set to Shelf. And we are the second original Movie Props podcast, believe it or not. Maybe a
Right.
third, depending the timeline you're looking at. But anyway, we're happy to be here. This is something Alex and I were looking to do for quite some time. We tossed the idea back and forth a bit, and we decided to just commit and lift off with it. So thank you for listening. We're looking forward to this season. This episode is just going to serve as something as introductory. So few people do know us. For those who don't, you'll learn more about us in this episode, and we're really looking forward to going on this journey together.
Yeah, so basically we decided to do this together. We have a lot of collector friends that we wanted to introduce to the world and interview them. We want to bring people from the movie industry, whether the prep masters or costume designers, maybe some actors, to make it more fun, and also just talk about pop culture, talk about films, maybe like different genres, what we want prep-wise and costume-wise from those films. And just make it really fun, very light, and just bring a lot of friends in and discuss props and costumes and the whole world of collecting.
Oh yeah, no, this season is going to be exciting. Have a few guests lined up already. It's going to be great. So further ado, we'll tee things off. Alex, I'm going to ask you a question. We're going to ping pong back and forth, and see what happens. We're going to give it a shot.
Let's do it.
So Alex, what first got you into collecting movie props? And what made you zero in on Austin Powers?
Well, it happened randomly. I basically had no idea this stuff existed. You can actually get it or buy it and own it. And I just randomly, I think 6, 7 years ago when I started collecting, I was, laying on my bed, couldn't fall asleep. And I was just randomly had a thought, like, what happens with all those costumes and props in all these different films? And like the simple Google search, like I Googled Austin Powers props and all this stuff start popping up, like the Your Props website, the prop store website, and all these different, websites with props. And I was shocked. Basically, I was like, wow, you can actually own something from the films. So that's what got me started, basically. A simple like curiosity and Google search. And of course, I went to the props website and found my first prop and went from there.
And the sickness began.
Yes. What about you? How did you find out about all this hobby and how did you start collecting?
So collecting at first, when I was younger, I collected baseball cards, Pokemon cards, big into Legos. And as I got older, I started collecting the Funko Pops, and those kind of connected to my, pop culture love. Because you can collect actual characters from films and TV shows, so that was my connection there. And then, like you, it's like, oh, I discovered that you can actually own these things, and they cost a lot more money than Funko Pops. So yeah, I want to say maybe around 2018, graduated. After I graduated from Cornell, that was when I really started to, keep a close eye on the auctions. And my first piece, it was actually I got it from the prop gallery, and I had Tom Spina and his team work on it. It was from James and the Giant Peach. It was a stop motion Mr. Centipede head. And Spina then did a simple display for it. And it's long been sold. But that was my first piece. Yeah. And then like you, the sickness began, and I started growing my collection. And yeah, but what got you hooked on Austin Powers? I mean, it's pretty. You only collect from one film, so what made you stick to it? First of all, land on it and really just stick to it.
Well, yeah, that's true. That's basically my main collection is the Lost in Power stuff. Well, first, it was my favorite franchise when I was growing up back in Russia, and I watched the second film on VHS. I think my uncle recorded it. It was showing on TV, like I think 2000, maybe 2000, 2001. That's when I saw the second film for the first time. And I fell in love with the characters, and of course, had no idea that Mike Myers played all of them because back in Russia we have different actors voicing the Russian voicing you can hear Mike Myers basically was different Russian actors voicing the characters. So that kind of like I guess confused me a little more. But also like I had no idea that he plays all those characters. That kind of inspired me. I wanted to do theater, I wanted to do acting, and kind of want to be like Mike Myers. And so I watched those movies back to back. Then I saw the first one on TV, and then when Goldmember came out, I went to the movie theater. I saw it like 17 or 18 times in a movie theater. I brought my uncle, then I brought my friend. I was bringing everybody to see it. And then VHS and DVD came out. I bought those and watched them many, many times. So it was always a special place for me, and that's what inspired me to move to the United States because I wanted to like try Hollywood, try to be an actor, whatever like my dream. And so basically, those movies inspired me to move to the United States. So basically, it's changed my life in a way because I wouldn't be in the States. I've been here for almost 18 years, and I'm very thankful to be here, and I love it here. And basically, that franchise changed my life, and that's what it's so special to me, and it's very close to my heart, and that's why owning pieces from those three films is very special. Like it has a special place.
Wow, that's definitely it's inspirational, and definitely a lot of collectors can say that. So that's remarkable, and it's really testament to your passion for not only collecting but just once you're committed to something, you're really you're all in, which is great. Um, and then
Right.
piggybacking off of that, what would you say if you probably do remember first piece that you added from your to your collection, and how did you obtain it?
Well, that was very simple. That was basically, the prop store website. And back in the day, they have a lot of like buy now options,
Yep.
a lot of items there. And my first piece was the framed Michael Caine's uh, Nigel Powers male symbol necklace from Goldmember. And that was my first piece. And after that, I kept buying more and more of everything I could get from buy now before it's all gone, before the auctions. But that was my first piece. It was still have it and still very special.
Love it. Never forget your first, and you still have it. Unlike me, who
Yeah,
selfishly sold it away, but it
you
happens.
did.
Awesome, man. Let's
Yeah.
keep the question train going. Your Austin Powers collection is expansive. You showed it to me when I was in town a few weeks ago. Thank you again for that. It's really
Yeah.
impressive. What would you say is your quote unquote crown jewel of the Alexander Komarov Austin Powers archive?
Well, I would say the red and blue striped suit from Goldmember that Mike Myers wore as Austin Powers. That's one of my favorite items that I have.
Mhm.
Because that's my favorite opening number from all three films when he goes through the studio and dances with Britney Spears and through
That's
Paramount
really
Lodge. Yes.
Yep.
And that's Steven Spielberg is there, and Britney Spears and Quincy introduced Quincy Jones, who wrote "So Nova," that eventually became the Austin Powers theme song. So that's my favorite. Also, I would say Pinky Ring from Doctor Evil and Mini Me from the second film. Those are like my I would never probably part with them. That's the only item that when I die, somebody will have to sell them because they'll never leave me. I'm on some other pieces too. There are certain pieces I would never part with. But I would say like the Mike Myers suit and the pinky rings of Doctor Evil and Mini Me from the second film. And what about you?
Ooh, well, very cool. Those are both great pieces. And for those who are watching on YouTube, you can see it over Alex's shoulder. It's remarkable. It's a sharp suit. But yeah, me. Kind of two that are tied for first. Those who are watching over my shoulder. So I own the Beetlejuice model miniature sign you see in the graveyard, along with Barbara's tombstone, miniature tombstone, and Beetlejuice's stop motion hand with the Zagnut bar. They're all mounted on piece of original turf, the green, grass per se that you see in the film from the town model. Is that, and then also, I'm a '90s kid, so Small Soldiers for those who might be familiar with that film, directed by Joe Dante. Um, Tommy Lee Jones voices Chip Hazard. I have a Chip Hazard hero puppet behind me. Screen matches to a few scenes in the film. So those two probably are my crown jewel. I just little funny story about the chip hazard. When I was younger, a kid, my parents didn't because they came out a toy line for all the
Mhm.
Commando Elites and Gorgonites, and I wanted a Chip Hazard toy. My parents said no because thought it was too violent. So it's kind of comes full circle where it's like years later, decades later, so I
Yeah.
actually have the full one. So I'm showing you, mom and dad, I get to own one when you get.
The original. That's so cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I've been after one for years, and I tracked this one down, and yeah, it was really, really cool, and again, like you, it'll be something that'll take either I won't sell it for the rest of my life or it'll be a, bonkers, offer for me to part with it 'cause I love it so much. Love them so much. Again, those 2 are, um,
The
take it to the
top. Yeah.
yeah, taking those to the grave or, something really cool comes, my way.
Yeah. I just rewatched the movie like a couple weeks ago, maybe like 3 weeks ago. I just rewatched it. Yeah. It popped up
You
on YouTube, and I'm no the Small Soldiers.
Oh, really? Is that
Yeah,
why?
it's
Very
because
cool.
I saw it back in Russia like in the 90s, and so I kind of like forgot a lot about it. And then like it
Yeah.
popped up on YouTube as like free one with ads, and I watched the whole thing. I was like, it's such a cool film. I love it.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, the puppets, Stan Winston, they designed, created the
Mhm.
puppets. The rod puppets, the self-contained ones. Peter Jackson owns the majority of them. A couple others are out in the wild. But yeah, it's great. It's really just fun. It's different. The film got some chatter recently. I guess one of the writers on you know
Mhm.
X or Twitter, however you want to refer to it as, said the film deserves a sequel. So maybe they'll go for it, but, the original still is great, and it definitely, has a lot of nostalgia for people growing up in the '90s.
Absolutely. No, and the Beetlejuice piece is magnificent. I love that one too. Like one day I have to come to New York, and you have to show me your collection in person too. Like you saw mine, now it's my turn to, see yours.
Yeah, hey, the offer's always there whenever you're, in New York.
I would love to see those.
And that's actually have a space to display things in, so which is
Yeah.
great, so
Because there's always like it's always different to look at them in person, to see like the details and stuff. Like pictures is one thing, but like it's always a different experience to see this stuff in person, you know?
Well, yeah, I totally agree. It's some of these pieces, like I've sent you and I've shown people pictures of the Beetlejuice piece. Like, oh, I think it's small, but no, it's actually
Mhm.
it's over 24 inches tall. It's
Yeah.
huge. It's a miniature, but on screen it looks small. But for them to have that more or less perspective, they have to make pieces big. Especially Tim Burton films, he likes to force perspective of
Mhm.
things. This isn't a forced perspective, but like Nightmare Before Christmas, a lot of the pieces in that film they're forced, they're created on angles, so it's how the camera shoots it. Um, it gives the audience, the person looking at it, a certain perspective and the intended,
Right.
forced, case in point, forced perspective. Um, yeah.
Is that like your favorite piece? Like, would you like, is there anything else like from Beetlejuice to be like, oh, I like this better than what I have? Like, is there a piece like you would be like, trade your piece, what do you have that you really love, or something like you think is better up there, like proper costume wise from that film?
I mean, costumes, mannequins, as you know, I mean, they take up space. No, I think I'm pretty satisfied with this. I mean, it says, it's designed, it's recognizable.
That's very nice. Well, yeah.
Barbara's tombstone, Beetlejuice's hand. So basically, I've kind of like took
It's like
character.
everything in there. Like it's the whole movie basically in that, model basically. I mean, if you can have the house, that'd be awesome. Just the house and that together.
The house would be cool. It would be cool. I mean, it's tough because it gets to a point where it's how far. Like obviously, I don't collect from just one film. Like
Yeah.
you do, but it's like how far do you go if you don't collect from just a single title? How far do you go within that title to where it's like, oh, I'm gonna collect one more piece? Like when do you check that box?
Right.
I think that film checks the box for me.
Yes, for sure.
Um, so there are other small soldiers puppets out there that yes, like, but again, it's like I feel good with Chip Hazard.
No, that's like the main. That's the guy. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
can I get better than that? So I agree.
So yeah,
That's so cool.
but yeah. So I mean, speaking of pieces, is there a piece that you missed out on that still haunts you, whether it be in auction, outside of auction?
Yeah, there are a few. Well, a lot of pieces I've missed it's because it was before my time. Not just like because I started collecting like in early 2019, and there were a couple of auctions that happened in 2018. There were like magnificent pieces that I've missed on. So it was basically I didn't know back then that that stuff existed. And the Screen Used had their last auction in August 2018, and they had the blue suit from Austin Powers and the Doc Evil complete gray suit from I believe from the first film, and it sold for like a reasonable price. I think like Austin sold for like $10,000 or $11,000, and then the Doc Evil like even lower. And I mean, I wish I could grab those for those prices because nowadays, you know how everything is so crazy expensive. And that would,
Yeah, it's nuts. It's especially fees are low.
yeah,
I mean, you have auction houses raising their buyer's premium. You have if you're buying from auction houses outside the U.S., there's the import fees. So it really adds up, and it's just if you buy something at auction, you better love it
yeah,
because it's
100%.
more or less likely going to be sticking in your collection. Or if you do decide to buy something at auction and sell it, you might be losing some money. I remember, a piece like that. I paid an import fee of
Yeah.
$100, which was nuts. But again, it's like, what are you gonna do? It's just you name the game right now.
And then like the other pieces that are I already knew about the hobby, it was the last year we had Planet Hollywood auction. And I actually got lucky and there were 5 Austin Powers costumes and I got 3 out of 5. But then the one I really wanted was the tracksuit that sold like for 30,000, dollars with premium. And that was the one who was
Yeah.
raising the price up. And eventually I just have to give up. And because I know there was another one up there. And that's something like I wish I had the gold member's tracksuit from his layer. And then the second pieces that I missed was the summer of last year. Heritage had the Mini Me and Dr. Evil makeup busts that kind of went a little high too. So
Oh,
really regret like missing those that I didn't get, but it was just like the bad timing, and I was still kind of like paying off the Heritage. I mean, the Heritage Blended Hollywood auction because that happened in March, I believe, end of March, and then that auction with the busts happened in July. So it was just too close and it was very expensive. So I just had to kind of like give it up. But I wish I had those makeup busts now. What about you? Do you have anything that you kind of like missed or like kind of like regret not bidding or buying?
um, I mean, no. I mean, again, I'm very I very strategic in terms of like knowing what's coming, what planning on buying. So I mean, this last props for auction, there was I think from the Chamber of Secrets, there's a special effects Tom Riddle diary. I've been looking for one of those for quite some time. Went for opening bid. M Do I regret it? Like,
Right.
yes and no, but it's like, I don't know, like, this is another rabbit hole we dive into, kind of the emotions of prop collecting, and, there's always gonna be another piece. It's such a you know, sometimes people just buy to kinda scratch that itch, and it's, like, make them feel good for maybe, like, a week, and then it's like, "Alright," they're not satisfied, going to other things, so I think it's, to answer your question, no, not right now. I mean, this stuff on, like, eBay, maybe, like, I lost out on a T1000 bullet hitcher on eBay a couple months ago, which is priced very well. But, nothing that I think back on, I'm like, "Ah, I didn't lose sleep over." Like, it is what it is, and more pieces come up, more auctions come up, like, as of this recording today, Julian's announced they're doing a Jim Henson,
Yeah.
auction, which is nuts because Henson never releases anything, and let alone, partners with an auction house for an auction. So if things come up, timing if things come up, like you said, you get a payment plan going on. You wish you could have bought something. Um, so like, I think the name of the game too with this hobby is
You
timing.
never know.
Let things
Yeah.
come up, outside of auction, inside of auction. You never know what's gonna. So it's just. To the point of buying strategically, it's like, okay, like, do you really want this piece? And if something else came up, are you gonna like, lose sleep over it? So it's a formula, it's just sometimes it's too, it's like you buy something, maybe you're kind of strapped for cash, but it's like, you're not going to get something like this to come up again or
Yeah.
offer to you again. So it's like, all right, buy it and you'll figure it out after you sell something, put something on. If it's an auction, like a payment plan, or if the seller of something, they're graciously willing to work with you for a payment plan. Yeah, so it's tough. It's a lot of puzzle pieces, a lot of things to kind of keep into account. And again, props are just it's a your hobby. It's
Yeah.
something that's outside of the normal daily life of buying groceries, paying your mortgage, paying rent.
Yeah.
So it's really got to be
Yeah.
responsible.
Those are just toys, you know?
Yeah, well, at the end of the day, it's they are. I mean, we can't take this stuff with
Yeah.
us. So enjoy it while you can, within reason, and don't go crazy, and you know, make good friends along the way, right?
But see, my problem is like I don't have that option like to sell something to buy more pieces because everything in my collection, like it's part of the family, you know what I mean? So
Well, you
I
could.
can't let anything go because I have to make bigger. I have to, it's like I only collect from three films basically, the first, second, and third, and it's like I love every piece I have, and it's like I don't want to sell anything to buy a bigger piece. I want to have what I have and get a bigger piece. So it's like,
Well, so what it? So I mean, we've been chatting about this. So let's just say a piece came along that you know, it's a must have, but like you're tight on money. But but you knew, like, if you sold, I don't know, 2 or 3 things, like, you would be able to get the cash and be able to afford that. Would you?
depends on the pieces, I guess. It's like
Yeah.
if the piece is expensive, so it would have to be if I'm going for an A piece, I'll have to sell maybe like two or three B pieces, and it's I don't know, it's kind of a lot. So yeah,
Would you?
it depends. It depends. No, probably not. No, I'll just probably take a loan and go for it. And just take a loan,
Alone. Oh,
do the
man.
payment plan, take a loan, figure it out, and just get the piece, and maybe not buy anything for a while after that must piece. If it's going to be like at the price you want, I'll just have to go, okay, you got your, A piece you wanted for a long time. Now just calm down and don't buy anything for the next,
Yeah.
6 months to a year, whatever it takes to pay everything off. So I would just go that way rather than just sell something and get the piece.
Okay. Alright, so you
Yeah.
plan it out. Alright.
Because I love everything I have. I don't want to let anything go.
Yeah, no, it's tough. It's like you get
Yeah.
hooked to it. Yeah, I got like that too. But again, like you said, it depends what comes up. If somebody's a must have, and it's, like, if someone offered me a Terminator 2, like, a full
Yeah.
Arnold costume, but for the Beetlejuice piece, would I do it? Maybe, I don't know. I love that film T2. I think it's the greatest action film of all
Yeah,
time.
it's a good one.
It
Yeah,
still holds up.
it's a good one.
But, yeah, it's tough. It really is. Again, like, if you do let go of some of this stuff, there's a good chance you're not gonna be able to get it again, and if you have
Mhm.
the opportunity to do so, you're gonna be paying through the nose to get it.
But also, like,
So it's
but also the other thing is like, look, like, I collect one franchise. So, and there's a lot of auctions. They keep growing and growing. There is so many auction houses. There are so many auctions every year. And for me, it's very simple. Like, yes, I don't have that option to sell something to buy a better piece or buy an extra piece because I collect one franchise. But also another positive, that's a negative thing. Positive thing is that I look at the catalog. There's no Austin Powers. I move on. I don't need to. I'm not. But I
good.
still love to look at catalogs. I love to look at what's coming up, something we never saw before. It's so fun to me. But just like I know I'm not bidding on anything. So, and I've been lucky. Like this year, I only got a couple pieces from Julian's auction, and that's it. So hopefully something will come up. We still have a lot of options coming up in December. Different auction houses. So maybe there'll be another piece I'll go for. But like at least like I have that freedom of like, okay, there's nothing here. I'm good. I don't have to worry about, spending money. It's like I just move on for the next, wait for the next catalog and see what's up there. So that kind of helps also like be a little organized in a way.
Yeah, and then, yeah, maybe, statistically speaking, like, for the most part, like, how often I mean, like, how often do Austin Powers pieces come up that are a must-have? Like, obviously, smaller pieces do come up, like those,
Yeah.
Kama Sutra books and whatnot, but, like, for the most part, like, it's kind of, like, rare. Would you say it's rare that you find a piece in auction, it's like, "Wow, I gotta have
Well,
this."
the other thing I'm going to tell you is that when I just started collecting, I would go for everything. I was like, I want this, I want it, because I was just starting, so I want to buy everything possible. I was trying to go
Yeah.
for every single piece that show up at the auction, and now I have close to 100 items in my collection. I'm like 90, I think 92 pieces of my collection now, and so now I'm being more selective. Like, do I really need this right now, or will it, you know, complete some set or something? Now I have, let's say I have the Mimi prison outfit And so if the Doctor Evil prison outfit show up, like I know I need to have it to complete the set. So now I'm more like careful when more like,
Yeah.
strategic when I'm buying. There's certain things like I can be without it for now. I can live without, it's like it's true. Like, the bigger collection I have, the more specific things I go for, not just Austin Powers, but in general, like instead of buying everything Austin Powers like I did 5, 6 years ago when I started collecting, now I'm more selective. That also helps to be organized
Yeah,
that way.
100%. Especially for you, you mentioned completing things. So obviously with costumes, a lot of times it's you can only get certain costumes, it's missing a shirt, missing shoes, missing a belt, missing pants, missing an
Mhm.
undershirt. So it's you're because you're Austin Powers, it's mostly costume heavy. Filmed.
Yeah.
You're more prone to like seeing, oh, I got to get that shirt to complete this. I got to get those boots, those shoes to complete that. So yeah, even though like those might not be the higher dollar items, you're still more likely
Mhm.
to see something, a smaller thing that's like, oh, I gotta have that to complete X. And like you said, like if
Mhm.
it's a
For sure.
costume pair, then it's to me you really have to go after. But totally get it.
Yeah. And also know like people that have stuff from the franchise and none of them are selling. So I'm kind of like know that what they have is kind of like not going to be at the auctions anytime soon. So that also helps me to relax a little bit. But things still show up, It's like you never know.
Yeah, I mean,
There's still
Yeah, I mean it's like I've spoken many times before. It's like knowing where things are, tracking things down, and it's half the battle. And knowing that you have good relations with these people, it's the time to come to sell. You're number one on their list, and it's two, it's outside of auction, so you save a boatload on fees. Um, Also, too, when things come up in auction, a lot of these, like I've discussed, it's we track down these crew members and once they see the auction prices,
for
it's
sure.
they see the auction prices, it's kind of like a gut punch to fellow collectors and including ourselves. It's like they see those prices and they see the inflated figures because it's they include the buyer's premium. They have to explain the buyer's premium to them, and it's a whole thing. And
Sure.
they're motivated to go the auction route, which it's listen. There's a lot of pros and cons. I used to work a prop store, so I definitely see both sides to it. Um,
Yeah. Sure.
it's, putting it in an auction, it's, global appeal, global marketing, it's going through an auction house, it's getting the top-notch treatment. But also too, when somebody sells at auction, that buyer could be, they could ask for an extended payment plan, they cannot pay at all, they could,
Yeah.
it could be a delay, so it's tough, listen, auction houses, yeah, you can go that route or, private, outside, auction route. It's tough. It really is. And, 'cause it's always a toss up. It really is.
For sure. You never know. Sometimes they put something at the auction and then you make your money back or you might make some more. Sometimes you lose it. You lose money. You would have made more doing a private deal. So it's like, it's a gamble. You never know.
Yeah, because you get also too, you have selling fees on top of that. Some auction houses 15 or
Absolutely.
percent or whatnot. So it's something really to be strategic about and weigh out. Um,
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
What's like the one, like, I want to ask you a question, like, what's your like top prop that you would love to have in your collection for like movie and
oh
item?
God.
Something like you're gonna be happy and that's something that you would never sell if you have it.
Um, I mean, I'll give you a prop and a costume. So a prop, I mean, I'm a huge Harry Potter fan. I
Mhm.
would love a light up Elder Wand. I think this thing, obviously, the special effects light up wands are great, but just the Elder Wand in and of itself, just the backstory of it, I love it. And the role plays in the Potter films, especially the back end of the franchise.
Right.
It's great. Also, I love Dumbledore, Snape too, and also Voldemort. Um, Costume, I'd have to go with, like I mentioned, or Terminator 2, or even just, maybe it's a jacket from T1, T2, or
Yeah.
T3.
I want the
Either
2-2 one.
T3. Yeah, T2, yeah, T2 is T2. It's great. Actually, a few years ago, I was actually in LA, and Arnold did a a Q&A for his new book, his Toshman book that came out. It was at the Academy. It was a Q&A with Arnold, and then following the talk, it was a screening of Terminator 2 on
Mhm.
the Academy, ginormous screen. It was phenomenal. So after experiencing that, and obviously my love initially for the film, it's T2 is definitely the way to go, even if it's just like a T1000 shirt or something. But yeah,
I'm, s- I'm sure it'll happen. I'm sure it'll happen. Well, if you're going back to like outside of Austin Powers, been going to Harry Potter, like we talked about that outside of the podcast. That I love the Pink Lady. That's my favorite villain from that franchise.
oh, Dolores Umbridge, yeah.
And I want her wand and I want her costume. That would be like I don't need anything else in that franchise. I just want her and her stuff. Maybe Voldemort too. I love him too. I like the villains. I love villains.
Yep.
So I think those two, like side by side, her costume and his, and then the wands, like that'll be. I'm sad. I don't need any Harry Potter stuff. I don't want any. I just want the bad guy stuff.
Just
Yeah.
stones.
And then from the powers, I would say the spacesuits from the second film that are personal Stephen Main's collection of the prop store in London. And so just waiting for them to auction them off.
Hint, 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 hint,
Stephen.
hint.
Well, I know eventually it's gonna if he's ever gonna sell, it's gonna go straight to the prop store London sale. I mean, it's
Yeah.
so I know it's gonna be probably if I get it, probably the most expensive items I'll ever pay for.
Hopefully, interest rates are down, man. So you take out a nice
So
low.
yeah, I'm not so you can keep it for a while, but I'm not in a rush. But eventually, that would be the set. I would love those. Yeah,
I'll check a box. How does look a
absolutely
big?
for sure. Yeah, I would love that stuff.
Awesome. But yeah, I mean, speaking of auctions, prop collecting in general, what do you think most people misunderstand about prop collecting? Especially, maybe it's even targeted down to your, collecting focus. Comes to a franchise like, Austin Powers, what do you think people misunderstand about collecting in general, collecting, gravitating towards a certain franchise and just focusing
Well, a lot of
focusing.
people, to me, it's like it's nostalgia. It's something like most of the films we like and we collect from is the ones we grew up with. Like I can barely tell you, like right now, I'm watching stuff, and it's like, for example, like Hocus Pocus. I watched for the first time 3 years ago. Like I love the movie, but do I want anything from that movie? Absolutely not, because I did not grow up. I didn't have that memories that I was a kid watching that, and that made it special. And most of the films that I enjoy, they're all 90s and 80s movies that I grew up watching, and so. And yes, I collect Austin Powers, but I would love to also have eventually some other stuff from other films that I love. And I feel like it's people just don't get the nostalgia part of it. It's like you own the piece of it, kind of like brings you memories back, brings you kind of makes you be close to the film in a way. And the other thing I feel people don't understand is like, for example, for me personally, like let's say you buy a new car, you buy a new iPhone. You excited for like a day or two, and after 2 days, it's just an iPhone. This stuff, like,
Yep.
yes, it's expensive, but then like every time I look at it, it's like I just got it for the first time. It's like I got a new phone every day. I look at that suit behind me, or the Doctor Evil suit on the other side, or any prop that I love. Every time I look at it, it's like it's just feeling up to you just got it. It's like you get that excitement, and so like to me, it's worth the money. To have that connection with the film,
Yeah.
being in your place and look at it and enjoy it. And a lot of people just, I feel like, don't get that part. And also, like, I know a lot of friends that, for example, they say, like, how much you just pay for that? What? Like, what? Like, are you crazy? Like, that-
Oh yeah, yeah. My friends, even
Yep.
my mom too.
Same,
They just
same.
clinically insane with But then it's like, I obviously don't, go around telling my prop. I don't go around telling people where I, buy and sell things
Yeah.
for. But it's like my mom, I fill her in on things, and she's like, "Oh, you can make some money with this." Initially, when I told her, so then after that, she's like, she understands, she gets it. Yeah, yeah. So
Yep.
it's interesting. It's really interesting.
Mhm.
Those who aren't in the world, they do, bat an eye when they, hear or they see like, oh, I don't know, X-wing sells for $3 million, or something extraordinary happens. But I think a lot of it's just the collectibles market in general is becoming more
Yeah.
mainstream. You have news outlets like Collect Media, or just the social coverage of like what things sell for an auction, especially when they're in the cultural zeitgeist. Like Darth Vader's lightsaber just recently sold. Like people know who Darth
Yeah.
Vader is for the most part. So things of that magnitude um, are being published, and people are becoming somewhat aware of it. I mean, EA Sports is saying market on Gen
Numbers.
too. It's a
Mhm.
yeah, like a Michael Jordan and a Kobe Bryant logo man was bought by an investment group
That's
for
insane.
$12 million. That's insane. It's crazy. Again,
Yeah.
it's good for the hobby, good for the seller.
People pay, if there's a buyer, like
But
why not?
um,
People willing to pay that much money,
that's the thing.
Yeah.
It takes two people to drive the.
No, and it's like I feel like you have to be born a collector. Like you can just like I people that collect, I know they've been collecting something before props. Like I've been collecting little figurines from the little the chocolate eggs. There was little collection of there was I remember like in the early 2000s there was this big chocolate eggs, and there was like collection of like Hercules little figurines and Little Mermaid and all this Disney stuff. So I was collecting those. I got a full collection. So and I've always collected like action figures, something of that nature, of like toys and stuff. And so I always had it in me as a collector. But I feel like non-collectors will never get that collecting, part of the people that kind of love collecting stuff, makes them happy and special.
Yeah, no, it's definitely something that you're not just born into. You're kind of maybe conditioned or pre-exposed to it. Me. As you were talking, I just thought of when I was younger. I had McDonald's. They had McDonald's Happy Meals. They had came with the toys.
Yes,
Toys. They had and
that's
they
right.
the
Yes,
toy sets. So like you and try and complete the sets.
absolutely. Said. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So
Yeah,
it's
that's
definitely, obviously, I don't think McDonald's marketing intended that consumer behavior, but it
yeah.
potentially could have transformed a generation of people into collectors. So yeah, it's tough. It really is tough to narrow down what one single thing is, but
Yeah.
about the hobby.
But then I'll tell you another thing, like, and then there's collectors for example, my best friend who's obsessed with Muppets. He moved to Iowa from LA. He got a big mansion. His first floor is like Muppets, everything, like all kinds of like rare figurines, like Muppet. It's like the cases are everywhere. It's like he collects like anything that's Muppet ever done. Like he has like hundreds of items. Like it's like he can be in one of those like collecting call shows.
Oh,
It's like
that's collector's call. Yep.
collector's call, and it has so much stuff. But again, like he even has like the replica, like the puppets, like the Miss Piggy and stuff like that. He got somebody who worked in the film to make have like the fake
Oh
ones.
wow.
And so he's been collecting his whole life. But again, like every time I show like, oh look, there is some puppet shows up once in a while, and he goes like, "That's a waste of money. I'll never pay them." Like, why? I'm happy with my replica. I don't need to, and again, he's a collector, but he doesn't think collecting is, he thinks it's too
Huh.
expensive. And it's like I've never met anybody like that, but he's the first person who has actually talked to him this morning. I just sent him the link about this auction that's coming up at Julian's
Yeah.
at Jim Hansen, and he goes like, "Oh, look at it, but it's too expensive. I don't want to spend that much money." But he has a lot of Muppet stuff, like toys, everything, like
That's
since the
interesting.
70s, yeah. So, there's some people that yeah.
Because like us as collectors, we would say a flip side of that. We would think him spending money on the replicas is a waste of money, to where he'd be saving that money and buying
Yeah,
the.
to buy the original, but he's happy with his replicas. Yeah, he doesn't wanna move up to that next level, you know? He thinks it's a waste of money, I guess. Yeah, that's the first time I met somebody. Usually, it's like people collect replicas and then they move to the real stuff, but he's just happy with
Yeah.
his replicas and his toys and all that.
Huh.
But I said it. I told him like you have to buy at least something like from that auction, like something small, one item, something like under whatever, just like put on a credit card or pay cash, whatever. He's not, he has money and stuff, but like
Yeah.
you just have to buy something from that sale because it's so special for you. You love this everything. He's been to that Charlie Chaplin, Jim Henson studio on the VIP one. He's been to that
Burbank?
maybe like no, it's in Hollywood. The
Hollywood.
Charlie Chaplin. There's a
Oh
little
yeah, yep,
with a little Kermit on top, yeah, on La Brea and Sunset.
yep.
He's been to that VIP tour maybe like 50 times. Like he would like every time there was one, they don't do it. They used to do it very rarely, but every time there was a chance, we would always go there and bring friends and see that collection so many times. So he's like he's obsessed with Jim Henson stuff. So I told him like you have to get something from that auction, like some a drawing of Miss Piggy or something, whatever is going to be there.
Yeah,
Something small, just to have it, something.
yeah. I've seen videos of that tour. I've never been out there, but I've been to the Creature Shop in
Mhm.
Queens. I was actually out there. My friend and I, we went in on a 'cause the Center for Puppeteering Arts down in Georgia. They do like cherry auction essentially, and that was one of the prizes and one of the lots, and we won and got a tour of it. It's pretty cool, seeing some stuff. I think that a lot of like the more more recognizable pieces are on display in the LA place in the shop.
Yeah, and I'm surprised that it's going up for sale because I mean I don't know what we don't have the catalog yet, but I'm actually curious to see what they're gonna have there.
Yeah, I think it's like over 400 lots. I think they're also doing like a special edition, like hardcover catalog, which is kind of cool.
That's
Um,
very special. You have
yeah,
to, yeah, you have to with that kind of thing. It's one of a kind. I mean, it's shocking that it's going out for sale. Yeah.
yeah, I think it's the 25th.
Yeah, November.
Let me see, yeah, 25th. Yeah, so it's interesting time, Thanksgiving week,
Oh, is it?
about a week or so. Yeah, because Thanksgiving's that Thursday, the 27th,
Oh,
it's
yeah. So
interesting,
yeah.
and then the London sales the following week.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, that might affect it. I don't know because there's a lot of Muppet stuff is very rare. That stuff.
Oh, yeah. To be curious. See
So it's on Tuesday, the 25th Tuesday. Yeah. Maybe we can go over the
yeah.
catalog. Maybe one of the next episodes we can actually cover that because
Yeah.
that'll be a fun auction to talk about.
Yeah, I'd imagine the catalog probably gets released
Yeah.
maybe a month from now, maybe depends how much they wanna go lead time. It's usually
Yeah.
about 4 weeks before the auction launches, they go out and like, heavy marketing,
Yeah. So we have
that'd be
something
awesome.
to something exciting episodes are coming up soon. Some cool guests and we're gonna be covering auctions, movies.
Yeah, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good, for recording this Sunday with, our good friend Adam Cook. Many of you know him in the prop community, so it'll be interesting because be the
Yep.
3 different time zones. It'll be I'm in New York, Alex is in, California, and then, Adam will be in London. So, a lot of juggling, me recording after work right now, and it's like a lot of,
Yeah.
jumbling, but we're making it happen.
No, it should be fun. I'm excited for that, and
Yeah.
we have a lot of guests lined up as well, which I'm really excited to talk about their collection. And it's just like to me, it's just like it's the fun part about this hobby is just like you meet these cool people. There's also like downsides. We have a lot of like shady people that do fake stuff and stuff like that. It's like but there's also like you meet so many cool people and become friends with them and stuff. So it's a cool hobby to be in. I feel like I met a lot of good friends through this prop world.
Yeah, it really is. Like, it's a global network of connections, like, case in point, like, Alex and I, we chatted many times for the past, few years on, Facebook
Yep.
Messenger, but, um, never met in person, but we made that happen a couple weeks ago. So it's really cool. Definitely learn about people, their backgrounds, their interests, and,
Right.
it's a friendship, it's a relationship. There's substance to it. And it really just makes collecting, that much more worth it, and
And
I
special.
listen, I some yeah, special, like, it's some of my best friends who, I got to know for the past several years, they collect, it's something we could talk about, and, um, it's really special, like Alex said, so it's awesome
And the other
to
thing, it's like, stuff like that. It's very like, interesting hobby in a way, like a lot of people don't get it. So it's like you can't just like run to your friends like, oh my God, look, this auction's happening. There's gonna be this costume I want to buy. And it's like most of your friends like that don't collect like whatever, like your close friends might understand will just support you just because they're your friend. But like you have to be you have to talk about this stuff with the level of the same people kind of like and that with that excitement, they excited for you. Like you have to be a collector to share those moments. Like if you bought something, who do you tell first? Your prop collecting friends, because those are the ones that are gonna be, oh my god, that's so cool. They'll share their excitement for you. For example, I'll tell you about my experience in London prop store auction, which I went to 2 years ago. The first time I was bidding, the first time in person, which was, first of all, that's the best experience um, of my life. Like, because I've been bidding always on at home online, and it's not the same. Like when you're in a room and you're surrounded by people that kind of support you, and and I've been talking to a lot of collectors from the UK on Facebook. I met a lot of them, so I at least like 7 or 8 people that I've been contact with for the past 6 7 years. And then when I went there, like they were all there, and we kind of like talking like with friends, and like I told them what I'm going for, and they're like all cheering for you. So it's like a different, it's like
Yeah.
this atmosphere there where you just like almost like people that you know but you don't know, but they're like all cheering for you if you win something, or they're sad if you lose or whatever. It's just, I don't know. It was just special, very special experience that I experienced in the UK 2 years ago. It was just so much fun.
Yeah, and I remember you telling me that. I believe there's a video on your YouTube channel about it. Um,
Yes, that's right.
but yeah, it's a community aspect to it. Like you said, it's when you get a new piece, share it, through our group chat, or people, they show their excitement. They kind of live vicariously through you because something a new piece and your friends getting it, and it's something that
Right.
they're proud of getting, and they're happy for you. So it's really really it hits you from multiple angles of kind of that
100%.
that gratification, not gratification. Gratification might be not be the right word, but it's that embodiment engulfs you, and it's something that you can
Yeah.
you're excited about and look forward to repeating and each time.
So are you gonna plan to go to one of those auctions one day, like and bid in person for something? Is that on your bucket list?
I don't know if I'll be bidding. It'll depend. I mean, I'd love to go to London. I've been over there, many friends over there. It'd be great to just go. But it depends. Again, like it's it, like we talked about earlier in the episode. It has to be the right piece and something that I want. But, it's just yeah, kind of yeah. It'd be great to do it.
Yeah.
We shall see. You've done it already, so you already got that experience, and
Yeah.
it sounds like it was a great one. So it's something I can look forward to if the right piece pops up.
Well, I'm the same way. Like, I mean, I loved. I've never gone to the LA in person, uh, but London definitely a special experience, and I'm ready for another one. I mean, if there's something pops up that I'll tell you, like whenever like they're gonna sell those spacesuits from the second Austin Powers film, I will fly there 100%. Like I'll try to get those in person and make a big scene out of it. Make something dramatic and scream or whatever. Make it on the video. It's like, did you see the video that it's a couple months ago? There was Julian's had an auction, and this lady won the princess dance dress or something, and she was like on the floor, like excited that she got it, and she was like laying on the floor. She hugged the auctioneer and something. It was all over. Yeah, I'll send you the link if I find it. And she made like a big scene out of it because she won that like $500,000 like dress. uh,
Well, I guess if you have that kind of money, you can make a big scene however you want to.
I mean, I'm not planning to bid that high on the spaces, but I'm just
Yeah.
saying like it'll be high for whatever it goes for. If I win them, I'm gonna try to make the most out of it from that event. So that I'll definitely go to London to do that in person. And if I lose, oh well. But at least I'll be there. Try to take them home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that'd be awesome. Hope we do. I mean, even if triple up, going over there alone, going to London's great. Make a trip out of it, and it's definitely a great
For
experience.
sure, it's a lot of fun. Yeah.
Like, I've been go over there just for the studio tour for the Warner Brothers, the Harry Potter studio tour.
Mhm.
That's over there. So maybe I'll make my way over there sooner I think.
Yeah, I kind of want to go too because that place is, I've only been there I was there for like 4 days. I just basically flew for the auction, and then I did like scenery and stuff, saw some stuff, but it wasn't enough time. There were so many like
Yeah.
shows that I wanted to watch, like the West End. the theater. It's fantastic, and I just didn't have time to like do all that stuff. It was basically, and also like I never went to the prop stores offices there, because I was right in the middle of the auction, so they were busy and there was nobody there, and it's also far away from London, so it kind of have to go um, either like stay longer when the auction is over and try to go there and see all the spaces in their collection, or just fly there a different time. But definitely that's on my bucket list to go to their offices there and see all the collection they have there. Yeah.
Definitely, man. Yeah, it's definitely a place to visit.
Yeah. Oh, you never been there, right?
Never been over there.
Maybe we can.
I've seen it on Zoom calls though. That's my extent of
Yeah.
seeing inside the London office.
Yeah, our friend Emma went there many times, so she's seen all that stuff. But
Yes, shout out to Emma, future guest on this podcast. We're holding you to
she'll do it. So
get
we're gonna get our UK collectors and our US collectors, and maybe some in Europe. So we have a lot of different variety of people with different stories.
Oh yes,
Super
It'll be good.
excited, and we'll
But
try to do it for a long time. And we're so glad we're doing it, and we're just gonna keep rolling.
yeah. So if you guys, those listening, want to be on the show or have any constructive criticism, please you drop us a message on Messenger, Alex or myself. But yeah, I mean that's a tight 51 minutes and 27 seconds. So I guess we'll wrap it up there.
Yep. And then we should leave our social media, right? Just in the description, just people can find us. Maybe like use Instagram and
Nothing's been created yet, but it'll be there. Don't you worry.
we'll get our Instagrams up there. I have a YouTube channel where I post like very rarely some unboxing stuff and some awesome powers. You guys can look at the me bidding in person. It's there. We can send that link there and just our Instagrams, and we'll get our email going, and then you guys can email us eventually once we set it all up and go from there.
Awesome. I love it. We're work in progress. Bear with us. It's going to be great. And stay tuned for more.
Sounds good. It was good talking to you then. Yep. And I'll see you in the next one.
Yes, sir. All right. Be well, guys. See you later.
See you soon. Bye-bye.